Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this Conico 1080p wireless IP camera. And this is actually a pair of cameras. So this was provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reviewing it before I post it. If you find this video helpful and want to purchase some of these, I'll put a link in the description on Amazon, and if you use that link it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost you anything extra. So this is 1080p. It says view with phone, HD video, two-way audio, motion detection, sound detection, audio, built-in microphone and speaker, image frame rate max 30 FPS, IR distance approximately 32 feet or 10 meters, wireless network, 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi. So this doesn't support 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi, so that's something to take into account if you need 5 gigahertz. So here are some more things on it. It has two-way audio. You can control it with an app. So it looks like it has two boxes in here, probably one for each camera. That looks to be the case. I'll just double check these are the same. Okay, so I'll put one aside. So here's the installation guide. The camera out and look at it. So here's one camera. Here's the power adapter. The output on this is 5 volts at 1 amp. Comes with a USB cable. It's micro USB and some screws and anchors. So the USB cable is a little bit over 6 feet. Let's look through the manual here. So we have an infrared LED, a lens, a sensor, a speaker, power port, microphone, micro SD card slot, and a reset button. There's a QR code here to download the app. The app's available on the Apple Store and Google Play. So here's the installation guide. It says choose a clean smooth wall and screw the bracket into place. Rotate the base to fit the base on the bracket. Turn clockwise and you'll hear a DOS sound. Installation complete. You can adjust the installation angle as needed. This talks about how to reset it. Long press the camera reset button for about 10 seconds. You will hear the factory reset voice. Restore to factory setting successful. Do not remove the power during restore factory setting. So let's take a look at the camera. There's a little bit of a cover here on the lens. Let's pull that out. There we go. This bottom should open here. It has little thumbprints on here that tell us how to turn it. I think that's open. There we go. So it has holes here and you can screw this to a surface and then you thread it on here. Then it has this friction ball kind of mount. So I will put this back on. And you can also just set this on a surface. So the power cable is right here. Micro SD card goes up here. So I'll be using this Kingston high endurance card. I would recommend a high endurance card if you're going to use it with a security camera. So it looks like the graphics on the card face towards the back, and then it clicks in, and then you would click it again to get it out. Okay, so I'll plug in the power adapter. Plug that into power. I'm going to be setting this up on my iPad, so I'll scan the QR code here. So that brought up this screen. It doesn't really seem to have an iOS app on it, so I'll just go to the App Store. So I'll search for MIPC. I'll hit search. Here we have this utility here, and this has the same icon as the QR code gave us, so I'll hit get here. I'll open the app. It wants to find devices on my network. I'll say OK. It wants to send notifications. I'll say allow. It's asking for a username and password. I'll hit sign up. I'll enter in a username and password. I'll hit sign up. It says for security purpose, please bind the account to your email, so I will do that. Okay, we're at our device list. Okay, so I'll hit the plus in the upper left-hand corner. I'll choose fixed cam. It says please power on the camera, so I'll plug that in. I'll hit next. It says please power on the camera and keep it closer to the router. I'll hit next. It says scan the QR code, so I'll scan the QR code on the side of the camera. It says choose a networking method, Wi-Fi connection or QR code. So I'll tap Wi-Fi connection. It wants to use my location. I'll say allow while using the app. It wants to access the microphone. I'll say OK. So it has my Wi-Fi selected here. It wants me to enter the password. I'll hit next. It says the device is starting. Please wait patiently. Okay, so it played a bunch of sounds. They were kind of like R2-D2 sounding sounds. So that was the iPad sending information to the camera. I had to block that out because there could be sensitive information in there. So it's done. I'll hit confirm. And here we have the camera. So I can tap on that. It says for your privacy, please set up your password for the device before use. So I'll tap settings. It wants me to enter a password for this. I'll hit next. It says give it a name. I'll leave the default name there. It's camera NDA. It says use your phone time zone. Confirm. Talks about cloud storage here. It says buy now or open later. I'll say open later. Now let's try tapping on the camera. Okay, so here we can see the camera. I'll move it around a little bit. Have it pointed at my desk. So I can pinch and zoom if I want to zoom in on a part here. I can hit the speaker here and we'll get some echo because it's sending the sound in from the microphone through to my iPad, and I could get feedback there, but I didn't seem to get any, so that's good. So next to the speaker we have some adjustment sliders, it looks like. I'll tap that. We have auto mode, day or night, and then we have brightness, contrast, saturation, and sharpness. So it looks like you can change these modes depending on how you have it set up. There's also a reset on there. So if you want to play with those, you can always hit reset to get it back to the defaults. Next we have HD 1080p. So we have auto, HD 1080p, standard, or smooth. So I'm guessing standard and smooth probably lowers the resolution. So if you're looking at this remotely, you could use those settings to have more fluency as opposed to the higher res. But I'm going to do it at 1080p mode. Then we have some arrows here to make it full screen. Below that we have a record, photo, microphone, and looks like an alarm. So if we go to the upper right, we have a little calendar here. So this would show the SD card recording. Then we have settings. And here we have about. So this gives some information on the camera. We have date time. That allows us to set the date and time. We have upgrade. So that shows the current version. And this would likely show you an update button if you could update it. We have restart, factory reset, security says set password, notification and recording. If I tap on notifications, we have motion detection, sound detection, and human detection. So I can turn these on. We hit record, we have continuous recording, motion detection, sound detection, or human detection. So we can change this to do continuous recording if we want, as opposed to motion detection recording. We have peripherals, it says sound detection and human detection. SD card. Let's try format. Okay, that seemed to work. So I went into the SD card settings and told it to format it. So let's get out of the settings real quick. We'll go to the SD card. Let's take a picture here. And the picture's showing up. Okay, let's get back into the settings. It says record box. So it looks like this can store to a remote device somehow. I'm not quite sure how that works. Looks like that takes a separate piece of hardware. We have cloud storage. So that would be, if you buy cloud storage, you can set it up there. Then below we have Ethernet. So that is not enabled on this. I'm not using Ethernet. Then we have Wi-Fi, and this tells us our Wi-Fi information. Below that we have image, flip the screen. So if you had this mounted on a ceiling, you could tap this and it would flip the image around. Then we have OSD, the on-screen display. It says text on display. We can add some text to the display. We can put the date on the display. We have a date format here. We can specify 24-hour time system or not, and we can have the days on the display. Then under more, we have sound. So we can adjust the settings for the speaker and the microphone. We have frequency. So this is to help with light flicker, and I have 60 Hertz in my country. I'm in the US, so I'll hit save here. We have motion detection, so we can turn that on here. Device indicator. So I suspect there might be a light on here, but I don't really see one. Video streaming. So it has encoding is H.264 or not. Doesn't look like I can change that. We have sound. We can turn sound on or off. So finally on the bottom it says support for third party. It has Amazon Alexa. So if we tap on that, it tells us how to set it up with that assistant. Okay, so let's try doing a video. So I'll kind of move this around. Stop it. So on the bottom I'm on SD card, I'll hit more. And now we can see that video I just shot. So, and I didn't mention earlier, if I turn my iPad, it goes to full screen automatically. So you don't have to hit those arrows. It does automatically adjust. So now I'm going to get some video samples of this and I'll merge those into the video. Okay, so I've set the camera up in my garage. I got a notification, but it's hard to get them to show up when I'm doing my screen capture here. I'm going to enter it now. I'll back up a little bit, I'll walk towards the camera, I'm going to look at the camera. So the only light on here is the garage light right here, the garage door light, and there is light coming in from the windows. So this is relatively dimly lit. Let me turn the light on. So now I turned on this UFO light. You can see what this looks like in brighter light. And I'll merge in the native video downloaded from this camera so you can see what it actually looks like. So now I'm going to put this in the dark area so we can see what the night vision looks like. It is actually dark right now. The only light's coming from my iPad, so I can't really see very well. Now look directly at the camera. Funny thing about my shirt is that my shirt is gray with black on it, and it has a stealth bomber on it, and you normally can't see it, but in the infrared you can. That's kind of cool. So those were some video samples. I was capturing the audio with the camera itself. I thought I was capturing it with the iPad, but for some reason it cut out. I don't know exactly why. So I had to use the audio from the camera. Specifically in the garage, the camera was up pretty high, so it was pretty far away from me. So I didn't have the best audio there. And I did 3 different kinds of samples. I did one with kind of low light, one with a little brighter light, and then one in the complete dark. So when I was in the stairwell, that was pitch black except for the light from my tablet, but this casts out infrared light, and then the sensor can read that so it can see in the pitch black. So my final thoughts on this: if you're looking for a budget security camera option, I think this is worth looking at. This would be great for monitoring your kids, to use it like a baby camera. This will do motion detection, but it'll also do audio detection, so you could turn that on, and if your baby starts crying, it'll send you a notification. This could also be good for watching pets. You could, for instance, put this in your child's playroom while you're working from home so you can monitor them. You could put one in your garage so you can check to see if the garage door is open. And I was using this on a tablet, but you can put the app on a phone and you can access these remotely over cellular. It just works seamlessly. So you just open up the app, open up the camera, it opens right up. You don't have to open up any ports or anything. It's all connected up. So that's the Conico wireless IP camera set. That's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.